How we doing, guys?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Is there any ladies? No, just guys. Good.
After Georgia Tech's third possession the other day, did you see the third?
What the third possession? Okay, yeah, I know.
Did you see what eventually happened? Did you see them getting it, even though we weren't seeing the results of the field? Did you see those about to turn?
I felt like, with each possession, as bad as the results were, I felt like we were starting to get a feel for the speed of the game, because that's the biggest challenge. You work it out here, and the speed that your scout team can provide is not the same. And so I think it was a combination of them seeing the game better and, getting a feel for the speed of the game better with both the quarterback and, what the offensive line was doing. Coming off the ball and cutting and things of that nature. So it was a little bit of that, and then a little bit of just some tweaks here and there that that we had to do to kind of get things back under control.
Was there a moment or a sequence where you realized, okay, I think they got it now?
There was a couple of disappointing series in the first half where I thought we could have got off the field, where they just made the plays and we didn't. There were some other instances where we were out of position. So it was kind of a scramble at that point to get everybody settled down. At halftime, it was more of, look, these are the two things that are hurting us. This is how we have to go back and adjust and play them. Just tweak it. We didn't make any overhaul, wholesale changes. And they got it. They understood it. Because the last thing you can do, especially against a team like that, is try to panic and do all kinds of things that you really don't have a comfort level with. So we had to stay within the realm of what we did and just explain to them what was happening, how to fix those couple of things. And then I thought it showed up, at the beginning of the second half. And then I think they started to have more confidence as well. They could see it and play it.
Did you notice any panic from those guys when they were down?
I really didn't. Now I'm up in the box,
right, but
I'm always in tune to what do they look like, what's their body language like, the whole deal. And so I'm always in tune to that. And then, being able to come down at halftime and see them, look them in the eye, and see their demeanor and things of that nature. That's one thing that I've got to give these guys a lot of credit. And we've talked about this since day one. Focus through the chaotic moments, because there's going to be plenty of them. And let's get back to fixing problems. Let's not get all discombobulated mentally. Let's zero in on the problems and fix the problems. That's not just Georgia Tech, that's everybody. But my point is that I've seen that at different times during the season that have been encouraging. This game particularly, because if you're ever going to, tank it, it's going to be when you're down 21-0. Right. And they did not do that. They weren't even close to that look or that, body demeanor, none of that. So that's an encouraging thing.
What has been the biggest change you've noticed since you arrived here last?
I don't know. They're very attentive. They're very focused in and locked in on what we're asking them to do. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. But what's encouraging is that I feel like we're building a foundation of concepts that they understand. And every defense is not going to be perfect for every offense. So, as I tell them all the time, if I call a bad defense and you execute it well, then we have a chance to survive. If I make a great call and we execute it poorly, we have no chance to survive. That's the basic premise of defense. So they understand concepts, and you can apply those to just about, every offense. If there's any outlier, it would be a Georgia Tech. But concepts of what we're trying to do, they understand it, even when things aren't going bad. Because if you don't understand the concept and where it's going wrong, you can't fix it. And that's what's been good with these guys as a whole group, if that makes sense. And, I think week by week, we'll continue to understand and build concepts more. But up to this point in time, I think they've done a really nice job of that.
Coach, with Junior, he committed originally to Georgia Tech. For him to come out...
Junior?
Non-con.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, for him to come out and play the way he did, what do you think that meant to him to, get that big play with the fumble?
Well, now that you told me that, I'm sure it meant a lot. I did not know that. So that's a good thing. I hope it meant a lot to him, but he did. He, he's been banged up. and he really hasn't had all of the practice time in the last couple of weeks that we wanted. So it was nice to see him do some things, especially, you know, the fumble recovery was a game-changing play. But he's doing well. He's progressing. He needs to continue to stay healthy. But I'm sure he felt great about, you know, being able to be a part of a really great win. Because, you know, like I tell these guys all the time, it's not always just that you win. That is the bottom line. But a lot of times during seasons, it's how you win. So I told them in a team defensive meeting, I'm prouder of them after coming back from 21-0. I don't prefer to do that very often, right? But I'm more proud of them being able to accomplish that than if we started from the beginning and we just, you know, dominated the game the whole way. Now, I would prefer that, but when you're able to pull out something in a fashion when you're down 21-0, the percentage of teams that can do that across the country is probably less than 2%. It just doesn't happen. So I was really proud of the way the win unfolded, especially when things didn't look good.
What impressed you about Casey Collins on Saturday?
It was the best game he's played. We've tried to get his attention. We've been on him and stayed on him pretty relentless the last 2 weeks for a lot of reasons. And you know, he was productive. It was the most productive game he's had. So very proud to see him do that. Now it's about him building consistency in the way he plays.
Given the newness of your system, I was talking to Larry about kind of technique slippage as the season goes along. Is this bye week, a good opportunity to kind of reinforce some of those concepts?
I think so. You know, because the first couple of practices, that's what we're doing. We're all working on our own individual problems, if you will. So that's what we're concentrating on before we even go on to the next opponent. So the last 2 days have been simply that. And it gives you a chance to slow down, talk through stuff, teach it. You don't feel like you have to get a million reps because you got to get reps for the next opponent. It's really more of teaching moments. So I think that's really, you know, kind of the idea behind the first 2 days. And I think it's appeared to be, again today, you know, a good thing.